There we go. Well, good morning. Today is Thursday, November 5th, 2020. This is the Loving What Separates Us class, sponsored by I Am Heart. And of course, I had originated these programs as part of my own mission to heal the wounds in the heart of America. And in fact, I'd like to just take a moment there. I have to admit, everyone, I just got this wave of heavy energy last night about this election. And the sort of like despair. It's like, oh my gosh. And I got to yesterday where I could just accept whoever won and just be at peace with it. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time being at peace with potentially another month, like in 2000, there's challenges kept going and going and going and go, oh, I don't want this for America. I don't want this for the world. So, and I just thought, wait a second. We have to turn this into love. That's what we have to do. I look forward to a month of despair. Of course, I don't, but now I can laugh about it after going there a few times. Anyway, I just thought I would talk a little bit about, I mentioned a number of times quite often, this healing the heart of America. And I'd like to just give the backstory on that for those who haven't heard it. So when I started IMU, this 2-year program put on by I Am Heart that just explores, I'm really giving you a condensed version of really the first year in this month-long program, but it just explores the heart, the breathing, the dimensions, the elements, it's all great stuff. Anyway, in about the third or fourth month of it, I was meditating and suddenly all the pain and the wounds of the heart of America poured upon me. Suddenly I could feel the vast pain of the Native Americans. It started with the Native Americans. And then the slaves, the black slavery, the discrimination, how we treat the mentally ill in this country, all the minorities. I felt Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the atomic bombs. Just like that. And it became too intense and I just shut it off. And I wish I knew more because it was very early in my understanding of the heart. I so wish I could have that experience again because, now I would take that energy and pour it into the inner dimension of my heart, which would just absorb it without any problem. And what a great healing it would be for America to have that happen. At any rate, I knew at the time that I was given that experience for a reason. But it took me about 5 years before I was integrated enough from it. There's a price you pay when you shut something down. You more or less tell your nervous system, your body, mind that, no, we're not going here. It takes a while of integration before you can pull it back up. So it took me about 5 years. And that's when I started these Healing the Heart of America courses. If you go on my website, healingtheheartofamerica.org, you can see all the 3 prior courses to this. So you're very much welcome to do that. It's just click on it and you can get them all. And this time, I was talking to the staff and Suzanne and Perron, and we just came to the conclusion, or really I came to that conclusion, that it's going to be more powerful in terms of creating a culture of the heart if I do this inside the umbrella of I Am Heart. So that's how this has all happened like it's happened. And they're happy to promote it. And it's worked out well for them. in terms of donations, which is nice. So that's just what's going on. And they are the ones who suggested that I straddle the election, 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. And I didn't realize how wise that suggestion was. It actually came from Leah, those of you who know Leah, a very pure heart, whose father, by the way, is going through serious health challenges right now. So if you know Leah, just send her a wave of love from your heart, and him also. Anyway, so it's turned out to be really useful to do this right around the election. And as I mentioned earlier, I found this deep heaviness about the country sort of being torn apart for another week, 2 weeks, month, whatever it is. And I don't even know. It was so heavy, I didn't even want to look at the news this morning. So I don't know if there's any late breaking news. Last night, Joe Biden was about 6 votes away from getting the Electoral College. I'm perfectly happy with him. I have to say, I did not vote for either of them. That was just my choice. I'm not happy with either of them. That's just me. I'm not, telling anybody what they should be doing. So I don't really have a big horse or dog in this race. So it's really easy for me to be peaceful about whoever wins. But when faced with this trauma, one more trauma in the heart of America, I'm going, oh no. So let's take that as an invitation for us to go into our hearts and perhaps soften this experience for America, and really the world goes into a trauma like this. The United States is enough of a leader of the world, the military and economic leader. It is my clear intention to let America shift into becoming a spiritual leader of the world and let go of wanting to be the policeman of the world, let go of this sort of posture that the job of our foreign policy is to make sure America is prosperous at the expense of everyone else. That instead discover we will be prosperous as the world becomes prosperous. So these are my intentions. I invite you to join me in them, but for now, let's just sit up straight, feet flat on the floor, adjust our posture as we are customary to do, and let's just begin this meditation by going into our hearts with our hands over our hearts. And just notice what a great gift it is that we can consciously connect with our hearts. And just let your hands down when you're ready. And let's just say good morning to our breath, to our lungs, to our bronchial tubes, to our nostrils. And all we're doing is noticing how clear, how open, how fresh, how free. And it's certainly not required, but I invite you to move into gratitude for your breath. Now let's move into full breath. Full inhale, full exhale, pulling our abdominal muscles all the way back towards our spine on the exhale. We want to encourage a slow, stately abdominal breath. And again, just notice what's your state right now after flushing our bodies with prana, with life force, compared to when we first started talking about despair. Notice how far it has shifted. If it hasn't shifted, do not worry. Just take it as, this is what my body needs right now. Could we allow our body's intelligence to shine forth right now? Now let's move into our classical connection of heart and breath, our heart rhythm meditation, with a nod of gratitude to Pran and Susanna Bear and I Am Heart for reviving and bringing out this knowledge. I assure you, to try and bring out something new into the world is not an easy task. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. Most of the time that's filled with joy, but sometimes it's just work. And probably for the first 2 decades, Pran and Susanna financially supported this process. The last 7 years, certainly, since I've been watching, maybe 5 years since I've been on the board, we've at least been revenue neutral and expense neutral. And I thank everyone for the donations that allows that to happen, and the signing up for courses. But I know Brian just had to keep on working as a computer programmer far longer than he wanted to support this school. So now, 8 heartbeats on the inhale, 8 heartbeats on the exhale. Whatever your number is fine. Perfectly okay if you can't feel your heartbeat yet. Just feel your pulse, or hold your breath, or simply count. Everyone's different. It all shows up at the right time. Just being here, even if you're counting, will have a profound effect on your physiology, a profound effect on your heart, a profound effect on the rhythm of life. Just be open and allow the noticing of the connection between our heartbeat and our breath and the magnetic pulsing of the earth, the harmony, the rhythm of Mother Nature. The pulsing of our cerebral spinal fluid up and down the spine to the brain. That's the third major pulse in the body. And I won't tell the story again but I have clearly experienced, after being on a retreat with I Am Heart and connecting to this rhythm a great deal, and my cerebral spinal pulsing moved in harmony and rhythm with my heartbeat, with my respiratory system. This is integration at a very fundamental level. And notice it's actually quite simple to do. It may take time to cultivate the habit of our nervous system, our body intelligence, functioning in this great rhythm of life. But it's actually a pretty simple process. And that's because it is so natural. Is it okay with us if we breathe and move and live in harmony with the rhythm of life? That's a pretty easy yes, isn't it? I'm getting the impulse to do a quick run through all 5 elemental breaths, just for a minute or two in each one. So let's just start with the earth element. Breathing in and out through our nostrils, exhaling down to the heart, through the feet, and down into the earth. And then coming back up on the inhale, breathing that earth energy up. Filling up our hearts with earth energy, noticing this spreading out, perhaps the yellow-brown color, perhaps the energy of a mountain filling our bodies. And exhale back down. Just continue with that for a breath or two more. Now let's shift into the water breath. Inhaling, bringing the water up to the heavens. Completing the inhale, pulling it down into your heart. Filling up our heart with water and exhaling through slightly open lips. Just repeat that process. Infuse the water of life Down through our crown into our heart. Exhale through the lips. Water flows down, washing, purifying, cooling. One last breath. Now let's shift into the fire breath. Inhaling through slightly open lips, filling up from the front into the solar plexus, going all the way toward the back of the spine with that inhalation. And then just hold it. You can do it double, like a square breath if you want, or just maybe 8, whatever your count is. Then just exhale out to the heart through the nostrils. And then inhaling through the slightly open lips into the solar plexus. Hold. Let the heat build up. Maybe we see that beautiful orange glowing coals ember in our solar plexus. Maybe not. And let the light rise up, holding the heat there. The light rises up into our heart, comes out through our nostril breathing breath. Just continue. Finish up that last round there. And now let's shift into the air breath. Inhaling through open lips, slightly open lips, and exhaling through slightly open lips. Now with a fire breath, the energy rose up. Here the energy moves like the wind, anywhere we want, sort of zigzagging. Those of us who are visual may get a sense, sort of a sky blue color. Just notice your experience of the air breath compared to the fire breath, the water breath, the earth breath. Compare sort of almost feels, by contrast, the heaviness of the earth breath, the weight, the stability, the solidness. And this air breath, just sort of gauzy, ethereal. And with that, actually, let's move into the etheric breath. With the ether breath, we just sort of continue the air breath, but then just start inhaling and exhaling also through the nose. Just keep playing with that. It's a skill, but once you get it, you realize, oh, this is so easy. Is it okay with us if we connect to the vastness of space? Right now, we tend to identify our bodies as being solid. That earth element, a lot of earth, a lot of water. And as we explore more and more, we know how much fire is going on in every cell in our body. Every time a cellular function goes on, there's a firing in that cell. Every time our nerves connect, there's a firing with that synapse. Our whole digestion is a function of the fire element. Can we equally connect to the air, and more importantly here, the space element? That inside of all of our cells and molecules and atoms, there is a vastness of space. So much space within us, in between every atom, inside of every atom. Space. And notice as we experience this ether, this space, now we ourselves become vast. Let's just play with that. Let's just spread out a bit. We inhale, still with this ether breath, still connecting to our heartbeat. Inhale to the count of 8, and then exhale, expand out into the vastness. And inhale again. Expand out on the exhale, allowing our energetic body to fill up the vastness as far out as you can go. Maybe it's just a few inches, a few feet. Maybe it fills your rooms. But let that energetic body expand out. Maybe we go to the far edges of creation. Wherever it is, just notice that we are that vastness. So now from this vastness, let's start exploring the events in our world today. If you're in America, it's the election. But whatever it is going on in your country, Austria is still reeling from the effects of that terrorist attack. Our hearts go to our Austrian friends. Every country has their own issues. Can you greet them from this vastness? Can we greet this possibility of a long, drawn-out, ugly battle over who wins the presidency? Very reminiscent of 20 years ago. Would it be okay with us if we looked at this from the vastness and just see how inconsequential it is? The vastness of space, and I'll include the vastness of time. Just how significant, how important is this election? Is this election process? We know from our history, civilizations come and civilizations go, cultures come and cultures go. Would it be okay with us if we just let go just a little of our attachment to this particular culture that we live in, to our attachment to this particular country that we live in, and see it from the perspective of vastness? And from the perspective of vastness, does the vastness favor one country over the other? Just ask. Ask your own heart. Ask your own vastness. Does the vastness care? Or is the vastness equal in its appreciation of every country? Could we allow ourselves to let every country be equal? Let every country be purely the reflection of the hearts of the people in that country? And can we give permission? Can we give the freedom for every country to evolve the direction they would like to evolve? And making this specific to our own country, but do this for the political parties in your own country. Can we take a look from the perspective of vastness? Let vastness look at the Democratic Party. Let vastness look at the Republican Party, all the sort of minority parties, the Green, the Libertarian, the Socialist, whatever they are. There are a bunch of them. From the perspective of vastness, can vastness appreciate them all equally? Does vastness really care who wins this election? Does vastness really care if the citizens of this country choose to go through a traumatic month-long process of determining who's the next president? Really, does vastness care? I get a big no. Vastness seems to be more than willing to let us go through our stuff. So could we look at the process of going through our stuff as a nation? How bad is that? If we as a nation have to go through our stuff, poof, not so bad, right? How about every other country in the world? Is it okay with vastness if they go through their own trials, their own traumas, their own tribulations, their own victories? Does vastness care, or does vastness simply offer itself as a screen where we project our inner stuff and make it outer? And I say that we collectively project our inner stuff. This group in America projecting its own stuff on the screen of vastness. Whatever country you're from, projecting your country's stuff, your collective stuff on this movie screen of vastness. Can you take a moment and appreciate what looking at the world from the perspective of vastness does for us? Can we look at our own individual projection of life? And I'll just spell out the premise here, which is that when the infinite fashioned our blueprint, to use a non-neutral term there, the universe fashioned our blueprint for individual life, fashioned our heart, imbuing our heart with the divine plan. Can you allow yourself to be powerful enough to see from this perspective? There's other perspectives, I assure you. From this perspective, that our lives result in the outpouring of the wisdom, intelligence, and power of our hearts to experience what we need to experience to move into oneness. to go through the experiences and bring the wisdom of that experiences back to the collective oneness. That's one story, by the way. You're welcome to have your own stories. The more stories we have, the richer we become, and the less attached we are to any one of them. Would it be okay for us on this continuum of being either very, very, very much an individual, moving along all the way out to being 100% vastness? Can you see how when we experience vastness, we take on the perspective of vastness? When we move along this continuum back to the individual perception, we become very individual. Now, just for the experience of it, let's end the ether breath if you haven't already. Just breathe with our nostrils, just to play with the experience of it. Can you come back fully present, fully embodied in your body? And ask your body how it likes the prospect of this month-long drama as we determine who our next president is. The possibility of this drama. Lawsuits and accusations of fraud, suppression, this, that. What's your experience when you ask your body how it feels about this? Can you notice the difference between your answer from the perspective of being an individual body and your answer when you were exploring the perspective of vastness? Is it okay with us? It's just a question. If we recognize that we can position ourselves anywhere along this continuum, any balance of wholeness and individuality that we choose. And there's a tendency to go, oh, well, of course, I'm just going to go for vastness. Because we sort of don't even feel the problems of the body, our individuality experiences. But I am going to suggest to you that we took birth to experience this body and this perspective fully embodied, walking through this earth. This is really the path of the heart. Fully embodied, fully embracing, and yet we also want to simultaneously experience the divine qualities, and vastness is one of them. Silence is one. Peace is one. Love is one. Power. So is it okay with us if we develop this skill, this cultivation of the functioning of our nervous system, that we live fully engaged as an individual and simultaneously experiencing the perfection and glory of our spiritual nature. So let's get more in the trenches, so to speak, and welcoming this energy so we may be fully engaged and fully at peace. So let's just squeeze the limit. Well, let's ask the first basic question. What's the first thought or feeling that comes up in you when you think about the Republicans' demands for recounts and lawsuits claiming voter fraud? What comes up for you? You may say, yes, perfect. Pursue justice. You may say, oh, we don't need this as a country. President Trump should just graciously accept his defeat for the sake of the country. Whatever your response, and it could be many more than this, could you just welcome up, welcome up this response and greet it with love. Just be with it. If you don't like it, just be with it. Be neutral. It's good enough. Could you greet this response with love? Could you give yourself some love and approval and gratitude that we are alive and feeling? We are alive and engaged. And could you give yourself permission either to hang on to this energy or to let it go? Both are very valuable. The one, we gain a lesson and we gain power. The other, we gain freedom and ease. Whatever you choose. Let's again ask a question. What's another thought that comes up for you when you think about a bitterly contested election? Just feel your body, see if you notice any sensations. Feel your field. Whatever comes up, could you just greet it? Could you just love it? Knowing that every time we consciously love something, there's a blessing both for the object of what we love, and there's a blessing for us as love flows through us. Here, the object is an energy or an energy pattern, an energy wave, a feeling, a thought, a fluctuation of our baseline existence. Whatever comes up, could you just be with it and love it? And let it go or choose to hold on to it. You can hold on to this one for a while longer. That's okay. And now let's squeeze the lemon on this topic Imagine just what I've been sort of doing this whole time. Imagine that this becomes the ugliest month in American political history. Every day on the news, ugly accusations of fraud, of cheating, of false votes. Every day a recount. Observers watching for chads, this and that, however it's going to turn out this time. And we are exposed to a media that just enjoys reporting this because ratings go up. So just check to see with this picture how much resistance comes up, how much not liking comes up. And I check to see if you have a sensation in your body. That's very common, this kind of resistance. And just be with the sensation or just be with the energy. Just love it. Could you love the fact that you have negative energy? Check to see. I mean, I mentioned all this despair came up with me. Oh no, not again. I had this experience once because I always avoided sadness. Wouldn't go to a sad movie. I said, why would I pay money to go be sad? And then after something Puran had said to me, he said, yeah, find that sadness. I started reading sad books. Roots by Alex Haley, Trail of Tears, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. And sure enough, waves of sadness showed up for me. And the amazing thing was, if I didn't resist them, it was actually an extraordinary experience to feel the sadness. Would it be okay with us if we welcomed up despair, if we welcomed up resistance, and gave ourselves permission to appreciate it? It's one more flavor of life. One more flavor adding to the richness of our lives. This despair, this not liking. Right now we have a pattern that says if we don't get what we want, we go into not liking. I know that's a different way of looking at that, but just take that in for a moment. It's just a conditioned habitual response to not like something. Would it be okay with us if we chose to love instead? Isn't that a more powerful way to approach the things we don't like? We love them, we accept them, we're at peace with them. Or as I've mentioned before, I have this friend that says, when things don't go the way I want, I get really excited. Something different's going to happen. Well, these very fundamental, subtle energy patterns, could we just love them? We know by now, after so many decades of resisting them, that doesn't cause them to go away. It'd be okay with each one of us if we worked with the power of love here. So let's just allow ourselves to be at peace with this picture of a month of ugly press accusations, lawsuits, counts, legal challenges? Could we just go to a place of, okay, I can be at peace with this. I can let go of resisting this. Can you see that we give something in the world power by resisting it? If we don't resist, it just flows through and doesn't touch us. Could we just, yes, here's my resistance. Feel it, love it, dissolve it, let it go. And with that, can we take this as a practice this month? That every time we're feeling resistance or not liking something about the election, we just say yes to it, feel it, love it, let it go. And if in the process, this election drama allows us to move into a whole new stage of freedom, we'd be pretty grateful for it, wouldn't we? I can see I have gone way over time on this meditation. But it's okay. This was a great process. Allowing ourselves to be grateful for this election drama. More grateful. More grateful. And with that invocation of gratitude, let's start the process of bringing this meditation to a close. Present in our bodies, present on our feet. In this new state of gratitude, willingness to embrace our resistance, can we walk through our day saying, bring it on, bring it on. You don't have to do that, by the way. It's just how it's impacting me. Can we allow ourselves to be comfortable and confident and filled with love as we walk through our day? Maybe move our bodies a little bit. Open up our eyes when we're ready. Take your time. It's okay. Nothing's going to happen if you don't open your eyes quickly. And this ends our formal part of the class today. Thank you very much for joining us if you have to leave. I totally understand that. And now we go into this part where, as we come out of meditation, we look for gains. Gains to share, they uplift everyone when you share a gain. They remind us of our own gains. Or if you're still stirred up, something maybe during this meditation or something in your life, we're here to support you. Good morning, Bobby. I see your hand up.
Good morning. And thank you so much, Stephen, and for everybody bringing your hearts here. And it's a gain that this goes on until November 13th. bring it on.
Yes.
We've got each other.
Yes.
A couple days ago in your meditation, you said, what would happen if this went to the courts or dragged on for a month? And it was really interesting. I've really been present to that question the last couple of days. So in present time, from this quiet place, could I dig a little deeper? A couple things come up. Love brings up everything unlike itself for the purpose of healing. My favorite quote from the Course in Miracles. So what's up in my personal life is I caretake for my 90-year-old Chinese physicist mother-in-law, and she is a transporter. And I've just healing what separates us. Yes. So I'm just feeling like I haven't reached out to her more in the last 2 days. I've just not wanted to be around the negativity and the proselytization. I wish I could say I'm imperturbable, but I'm not. I don't want to be around it. But I do want to go in and I take care of her, change her surgery bandages and stuff. So it's really an opportunity, and yes, bring it on. And I find it greatly challenging.
Good. Thank you so much for bringing this up. So for everyone else, check to see where you have resistance in fulfilling our obligations, our duties, our responsibilities. We all have them. They seem to stick to us. We sort of all want to be free from them, but they're there. Check to see if there's any sense of guilt. Yes. So, Bobby, let's go to that guilt, okay? So, you like this feeling of guilt?
Oh, that old friend.
Yeah. Not so much, right?
No.
And does not liking the guilt make it go away?
No.
No, it does not, does it? So everyone else, check your own resistance to feeling guilty. What are you feeling guilty about? We all have it. It's a cultural pattern that we get to work through. And is it okay with us if we work through this for the sake of everyone else on the planet? Is that okay with you, Bobby?
Yes.
Yes. That gives it a whole new positive charge of energy, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening. Maybe in a small way, but it's what's happening. When we clear out these patterns, we open a door for everyone else to more easily go through that same doorway. So, Bobby, pull up this grief. Let it get really, really strong.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, is it easy to have all this strong energy going through you, or is it work? It could be either one.
Right now, it's easy.
Good. Let it be easy then. And can you allow the easiness of that energy just to come up? And is there a quality that you would like to transform that into?
Courage.
Courage. Good. So would it be okay with you? Courage is so wonderful. Is it okay with you if that energy comes up, you pull it into your heart, and you just allow it to shift into courage?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone else, can you pull up this energy and let it shift into courage? Yes. Could you allow even more courage?
Yes.
Yes. And can you be grateful that you have this raw fuel of guilt to transform into courage?
Yes.
Yes. Can you allow it even more?
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
Whew, I felt that one. Everyone else, allow even more courage in your life. And Bobby, do you notice that you're just making a decision to allow it.
Yes.
And it follows, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Make this decision and we follow. Would it be okay with you, Bobby, if you became a person who lived from this capacity to make choices, make decisions, or set intentions? That'd be
Yes.
okay with you. And it would be okay with you. We'll take this even further because this was a big, energy blast in a sense. Would it be okay with you if you just went to the space where you went, oh, it'd be nice if all that guilt shifted into courage and you just let it go? That be okay with you?
Yes.
And every one of us, is it okay with us if we let these transformations be easy and simple? Just a simple intention that says, oh, that'd be nice if that shifted in this direction. Can you see, Bobby, as you step into this, not only you're becoming more courageous, but you're becoming more powerful?
Yes.
Yes. Is it okay with you if you become a powerful, intentional being?
Yes.
Yes. Is it okay with you if that power emanates from your heart?
Yes.
Yes. And is it okay with you if you are safe in this process of being a powerful being living in your heart?
Yes.
Yes. You notice all these are just divine qualities of the heart: safety, power, tension. They're all just qualities of the heart. Would it be okay with you if you moved into the experience of your being the sum total of the qualities of your heart?
Yes.
Yes. Can you see there's a wisdom and intelligence in your heart?
Oh, yes.
Yes. And everyone else, is it okay with you if you become safe, powerful, compassionate, loving, wise beings of your heart? And all we do is we say yes. We make the intention and we let go of anything else. Our minds cannot make that happen. Our bodies cannot make that happen. Some great inner power of the heart opens up and lets that happen. Bobby, is it okay with you if this inner power of your heart is in charge now?
Yes.
Yes. So now, on a very practical level, pull up a picture of you going to help your mother-in-law.
Yes.
How does that feel right now?
Feel grateful.
Yes. Could you allow that gratitude to get even bigger?
Yes.
Is it okay with you if you see your mother-in-law going through this debilitating time in her life as her way of helping you to move into your heart?
Oh, yes.
Yes. And that takes, to see that, we have to see her with the eyes of our heart, to see her heart, rather than seeing
Yes.
her as a wanting, needy ego, don't we?
Yes.
See that shift?
Oh, yes.
So she's really helping us to move into our hearts, to see from our hearts, isn't she?
Yes.
And which is easier in terms of your own energetic experience, to see her with compassion and gratitude, or to see her with the judgment of your ego? Which
Compassion and gratitude.
passion and gratitude, isn't it? So put up this picture again of seeing your mother-in-law.
Yes.
What happens now? What's your experience now?
I just see myself in her.
You see yourself in her. How sweet that is. Wow, can everyone else go to that place? That duty, that obligation that causes us guilt or whatever. Can you see that in yourself? Can we see the beauty of that obligation as a gift for us to move into our hearts? How are you doing, Bobby? Yeah, I get that. Boy, that's a nice journey you took us on.
Very grateful for everybody.
Yeah.
My
Thank you very much.
mother-in-law thanks you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
She pulls up a lot of courage. She's this little 90-year-old Chinese woman. She's so full of fire. So she's asking me to step it up.
Thank you. And thank you for that gain there, Terry. Anyone else? Gain, some challenge, some situation? Everybody feeling okay about the election drama?
I don't want to crosstalk, but I want to know how Hal Goldstein's doing.
You know, I'm not seeing Hal very often right now.
I see him right there on the screen, right here. He's here.
Is he here?
He's here.
I don't.
Hal.
I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Hi.
Hal.
I'm supposed to be on another course right now, so I'm doing great, Bobby. Thank you.
Hey, Hal, do you get these? You're loved here.
Did I receive it? Did you say?
Yeah. You get how much we all love you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah.
Hey, do you ever want to lead some of this?
Well, you know, I'm leading another course at this point. So. Okay. But thank you. No, but I think I defer to you, Stephen, Master. Yeah. And I really appreciate this, because I have strong feelings, and it's funny because when I'm teaching, I'm trying to communicate what you're communicating, but when I'm on the other side of it, it really stirs me up. So It's very good to hear you.
That's just fabulous, Hal. And how's your house?
It's coming along. A couple more months.
Hal is in the middle of this major renovation of this castle, this beautiful stone house out in the country, and you know, it's just coming along. I'm sure they always take longer and they always cost more, but not for you, Hal. Faster and cheaper, right?
No, it costs more and it's taking longer.
Oh, I look forward to it taking longer. I look forward to it being more expensive.
Thank you.
Hal, get that done, because Andrea and I need to come to Fairfield to see you and Stephen.
Oh, it'd be nice. I would really like that.
Okay, thanks so much, Hal.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was very nice, Bobby. Okay. I think we should probably call that a day. We're just chatting. And so thank you all so much. This was a very healing for me, this session. And they all are, but you all are just fabulous. God bless us all, and we'll see you all tomorrow.